Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your very excited yarn host because I just did something I have not done in a very long time. Now you guys are probably going to think this is crazy because I buy yarn all the time. This is nothing new. Usually when I've been buying yarn for the past several months, probably the past year, I have been very mindful of what I was purchasing. I have been going to the store with something specific in mind, or I was buying something to stock up on because it was on sale and I knew I would use it in the future, etc., etc. There were a few times I hit some really big sales and I just went crazy. But I have not, in a very long time, gone into a store and bought whatever I saw that I thought was pretty. You're going to have to excuse the light because I am in the truck. And as you may have seen, my husband, the boys are actually in Harbor Freight right now, buying a tool part. But they took me to Joann's first. Whew, so we have some footage. I'm going to insert it before I talk here, hopefully. It's going to be inserted somewhere. It'll be fine. And because I'm recording this on my phone, I'm going to have to edit it on my phone, which I hate doing. So, I went to Joann's, otherwise known as Joann's. And holy mackerel, I was in heaven. I got a whole bag back here that we're going to show you at the end of this video. My dopamine is like through the roof in my brain. Like I am just so happy. So I went in and my intention was to spend, I budgeted $100. Like I got $100 because if you don't know, I think I did mention this in another video, I budget a certain amount of my paycheck every month to go to my quarterly taxes because I have to pay quarterly taxes. And I saved up enough for that, and then I had money put aside for Juju's car, and I did that, and then I paid my taxes, and Mr. Cinnamon is my money man, so he's basically my business manager. He told me the amount for the taxes, and I paid. I was like, whoa, I got a little bit of money left over. I felt like I got a refund. So I was like, and you have seen this over the past 2 weeks. I've had a couple $100 extra that I thought was going to go to taxes. So it's already money spent, right? So I'm like, I'm going to take $100. And I earned this money. I worked hard for it. I'm going to do what I want with it, especially if it's extra. So I'm like, I'm going to go budget. I didn't even spend $100, which is what's crazy. I'm going to take, and if I spend $100, I'm going to be okay with that. And I went into Joann's and I was like, oh, what is this? Snatch, and I grabbed all 3 of those colors. They only had 3. I grabbed all 3. And I saw it in another color. You're gonna see it. It's got like little pom-poms. It's not even pom-poms. It says that it's tweed, but it's like big giant tweed balls, and it's really pretty. Like the color is amazing. I can't wait for you to see it in this video. There's blue and then there's a pink one. So I took those, and then I got some more yarns, and then I got a couple more, and I went in just to buy black, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna buy myself yarn. Why the heck not? I'm gonna buy myself yarn. And so that's what I did. And then I had a reward. It was only $5. Little man wanted a toy. It ended up being $2. I only spent, I think it was $50, 50 some dollars on this big giant bag back here. I can't wait to show you at the end of this video, like when we're done talking, because oh my god. But I wanted to hurry up because I'm so excited. And you will either have already seen or saw it. I will talk to you about it. They still have tons and tons of boxes along the back aisle of Joann's, like hundreds of boxes. But in the back, it's open, like you can see back there. There's so many boxes of just straight yarn, just boxes. And then the room that is supposed to be like the classroom is filled with said boxes as well. Just open boxes of yarn. So I think they're working really hard to fill orders. And so they're breaking into the boxes to look for the yarn that, is spilling out of the boxes all over the floor, which makes me upset. But at the same time, like, it's beautiful to see that much yarn. Like, I'm not at all mad at that. And I feel bad because I literally only saw 2 people on the entire floor. There was one lady at the cash register. Although, no, I saw 3. There was the normal lady manning the sewing machines, which I don't know what she actually does. Does she actually have a function? Because nobody ever talks to her. She's just back there running the machines. And then there was a manager-looking guy. He's not the manager because I've met the manager. Maybe he's an assistant manager, was up front. And then the new lady who I don't really like, but she makes a lot of excuses why her job is, like, she's not doing her job right. She had somebody come in. Now, I went up to the cash register with my stuff. I put it all on the counter. I'm ready to go. And she looks at the guy who's in line behind me and says, "Are you just doing a pickup?" And he goes, "Yeah." She's all, "I'll take care of you first." I'm already at your register, babe. I didn't say nothing. Apparently she messed up his pickup order because his wife sent him for yarn and a foam thing. And they only gave him the yarn. And so they were having a whole discussion about how they didn't give him the whole order. And the lady's all, "Yeah, I've been looking for that 1 of 1. I know that the yarn was 2 of 2, but I couldn't figure out where the 1 of 1 was." Well, you should have figured that out before you brought him his order out or asked a question or looked at the order or something. She cashed the order out, so she can't even see it at this point. Like, this was the whole conversation they were having. This is the same lady that wouldn't bring my order out to me the other day. And then told me, "Well, I was gonna, but there was a line," and there was not actually a big line. There was 1 person. So I was a little bit irritated. And I don't really like this lady because she just seems like she's full of excuses why she's not doing her job. But whatever, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. So he's talking about, "Well, yeah." And I looked at him, I said, "Well, at least you brought home the important stuff, right? The yarn." And he looked at me, he goes, "Yeah, that's what my wife said too." And I laughed. I was like, "Yep." She's one of my people. So it was funny. It was hilarious. He at least brought the important things. The part that he was missing from his order was like a purple foam pad that looked like it was supposed to be for a chair. Because they had a rocking chair on the front label or something like that. So, yeah, it was kind of funny. Big twist. I don't know if the sale's going past today. Today is Inauguration Day. It's also, more importantly, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s day of observation of his birthday. His birthday is actually on the 15th, in case you don't know. So it's a national holiday, but also, I don't know. I thought I got a notification from Joann's that the sale is actually ending today. And they said something about, like, this is your last chance to get the big twist for $2 something. And when I went in, it was $2.49 for the big twist, which is a really good deal. They wouldn't let me use another coupon besides the 60% off for his toy and then my $5 reward. So I was a little bit irritated by that. She's like, "I think it's because it's Store Buster." I'm like, they let me use the 5 off of 50 before. I don't understand what the problem is. Or 10 off of 50, whatever it is. I think it's 5 off of 50. I don't understand what the problem is, but, like, I just let it go because I spent way less than I thought I was going to spend anyway, so I was happy with that. But yeah, stay tuned. Next I will show you what we purchased. Oh, it's so pretty. I got my black yarn sold. That's all that mattered. And I bought some beautiful blue colors of the big twist because it was so pretty. And I was thinking, like, that would be so beautiful to have blues and whites in a blanket. That would just be so pretty. Especially the blues that I bought. You'll see. You'll see. So with that, stay tuned. And unbagging is next. Okay, let's take a look at what is on the shelf. This is the lollipop yarn that I was not a huge fan of, but I did buy, spoiler, I bought one. Because I want to show you something to do with that yarn specifically. Oh, look at that color. I can't resist this color. I had to buy it. The yarns are all over the place and they're not where they're supposed to be, but that's fine. That's the Flower Power Red Heart yarn, I believe, mixed in with the Granny Square one. So there's open boxes a lot of places. This is very normal for my Joann store. This is very typical. I fell in love with this. I had to buy it too. Spoiler alert. Those colors, like the blue is screaming, "Buy me!" I'm just showing you. Look at it, they got all this Christmas yarn way after Christmas. This was not available till after Christmas. crazy. Oh, let's look at the vortex, guys. I didn't buy any more of this trip. Cool. Surprisingly, I don't do a lot with cakes, so I figure what I have is sufficient. I really like that color. That was the jelly bean. That's the rave. Vortex. I had to squish it. I had to put my hands on it. It's so pretty. But I think I will. Hi, so yeah. I'm still wearing the same shirt as the next day. I don't care. I also slept in it. It's really a comfortable t-shirt, okay? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yes, I bought more yarn. And you're going to have already saw that because I showed you. I mean, I already filmed the intro, but I feel weird because I'm starting a video without the intro. I'm feeling real weird about that. Now, welcome to another episode of Yarn Hoarders with Jen. I bought a whole bunch of yarn, but I bought too much. No, I bought just enough to make myself happy. I also bought today at the Dollar Tree, I bought shelf liner. And the reason I bought shelf liner is because I am finally, my hoodie, I'm going to put shelf liner on the back of this, and this is going to be a mat for underneath my spinning wheel so that it does not slide across the floor. Now, this is the big giant bag from Joann's. It's a biggin. It's a biggin. And I ain't mad. I am not mad. Something I noticed, I've watched a couple other people unbox from Joann's recently. I think Crafting Kitty, I think is her name. I think it's Crafting Kitty. Did an unboxing with Joann's. The boxes that everybody's getting is this exact box. And I've seen a couple of videos. And whenever they order it, they're getting that same size shape box. And I'm wondering, and the label's on the side. So I'm wondering if Joann's finally got their crap together when it came to shipping, because for a while there, it was just coming in random, the most random packaging. And in the long run, there has been times I've gotten a big giant box. There's only been a couple skeins of yarn in there because they were using whatever they had. That's got to be costing corporate more money in the long run, especially when I'm getting a discount on shipping, you know? Because I don't ship it unless I get a coupon. $2.99 shipping, yes sir. Yes sir. Now, I'm going to dump this on my desk, okay? I did in fact get the black yarn that I intended to buy. The reason I went to Joann's to begin with, I bought enough yarn this week that you would have thought it was a Hobby Lobby clearance. I'm telling you, like, does it make sense? No. Not at all. Oh, bless me. Whew. I mean, sure. No thanks. Alright. My video is at... Now, you guys heard about the TikTok crap? I use a editing software on my phone called CapCut that I really like. I had no idea CapCut was owned by TikTok. So when they banned TikTok, they banned CapCut. And I really like CapCut. I know how to work it really well. So I'm logging in and I got the same stupid alert from that TikTok was giving us. And then now TikTok is back. But CapCut's not back. Come on. So I had to download a new editing app, and I haven't determined whether I like it yet or not. So, as you know, I ran out of black. I needed black, so I bought black. And the reason I decided to go with the Big Twist Value black is because I like Big Twist Value. It's a good quality soft squish yarn. I could have bought it from Premier. I could have bought a big skein from a whole lot of places in black. This was $2.49 on sale. So I bought 3 of them. And this is just the Big Twist Value in the color black. It's black! It's the color black! That's all there is to it. It's nothing spectacular, but I needed black. And if you have been a long-time viewer of Cinnamon Stitches, you will know there has been many, many times that I run out of black yarn because I don't buy it, because I don't like working with black yarn. I don't actually like neutrals. I don't like white. I don't like black. I don't like Gray is okay if I mix it with bright colors. I'm not a big fan of beige or any, like, I really don't like brown. So I don't have those colors. I do have some gorgeous browns though from the skein tones, because those are my favorite. So I just bought three blacks. I'm just putting it in my box that I just showed you a minute ago, because I have to put all of this yarn away. Now, while we're on the kick of the Big Twist value, I think it was one of these was, I think it was this one. This was just sitting on the shelf, and it was in one of those boxes that they just open and they set it on its side, and then all the yarn is in the box. And this color was just sitting there, and it was as pretty as could be, and it was surrounded by a bunch of other different colors, and I was like, oh, that color's so pretty. I don't think I have that color. I have stuff close to that color. I have stuff close to I didn't have this color. This is cyan. And I know to most of you it's just blue. Like, what is it, man? It's blue. Whatever. But it was screaming like, "Pie me, I'm beautiful. I want to come home with you." And I walked by it and picked it up like 3 or 4 times. I kept setting it back down. Like, I don't work with solid colors. I work with variegateds and fun, funky colors. I don't need solid colors. I have big giant skeins that are shades of blue. But this one was calling to me over and over again. And it's kind of like stands out, right? And I picked it up. I was like, all right, I'll buy you. You're pretty. You can come home with me. And then I was like, okay, but I need other yarn to go with it, or else, like, why am I buying just one skein of blue? So I picked this one up. I was like, yeah, that's pretty together. And then there was a ton of this color. So this one is aqua. And this one is sapphire. I think I have sapphire. I think I bought this in yellow together. I will have to look. That may have very well ended up in a mystery box a while ago, but I know that at one time I bought this color with yellow. But it was so pretty, I was like, oh, yes, sir. And I was thinking putting like white, like doing stripes, but white in between these. And now I'm kind of thinking about the yellow. Like a bright, bright, bright yellow. Not this. This is mustardy. But like a bright sunshine yellow. But I'm really leaning more towards the white. So I got these 3 for $2.49 each. And my box is already over full. We'll have to make another pile. It'll be fine. We'll move stuff. We'll make a pile. I have stuff behind you. Like, I've been working on stuff. I am actually making a pattern right now. I am designing a pattern. It is very complex. And I'm excited and I'm nervous about it all at the same time. And then I saw these. These are the color Rainbow Bright. And I didn't remember buying these before. I may have. I remember seeing these on Another Yarns channel, I believe. I saw these, I think, on Another Yarn. And I really like the color. So, I got the Rainbow Bright. That light is like so... I feel like it's... Does that look better to you with the less light? How about these? Better? Alright, we'll call that. So I got 2 of those. $2.49. Now like I already told you in the intro video, that small little video, I planned on spending $100. I was like, I'm just going to go spend $100. I'm going to buy whatever my heart desires. I spent under $60. And I got a lot of yarn. Alright, now I'm going to show you some yarn you may have already seen on the channel. So this one is the Lollipop Twisty. And I showed you this last week because I bought one of these in... See, I am taking one of these little dish pans. And I have it filled with all kinds of stuff because I've been working out of here. And you will see all of this on Monday. I'm trying to keep my label. Okay, so this one is the color Club Lights. We'll pull this out. You're going to see that again on Monday. What is this color? Saturday morning. Saturday. Because in the store, it was looking really... It's looking so dull in here. Let's turn our light up again. It looked so... It's looking so dull in here. And the fluorescent lights of Joann's. It's way brighter than what you're seeing. It's like fluorescent green. And it's not at all showing up on camera. And I don't even know how to make it show up on camera. Like, it's real. Yeah, that is dull and ugly on camera. I apologize. You can't see that. I don't even know how to fix my camera to make you see it better. So it's fluorescent green. And a little bit of blue. Some yellows. Now, I told you guys I didn't really like this yarn. It's rope-like. But what I did is I made a hat out of it. Okay? And the label says that it takes 2 of these to make a hat. That is actually incorrect. I made a whole hat with 1. And I have a big head. So I just did mostly half double crochets. I did some star stitches and I did 2 double crochets together for the crown. Okay? The yarn is very thick. It's stretchy. It makes an okay hat. Okay, but I had a little ball left over. What is stuck in the fur? There's something stuck in the fur. I could feel it. Oh well, we'll get it out later. Feels like somebody spilled something on it. It's real small though. Okay, so you see how, like, it's a decent fat hat. And I ain't mad. I had a little ball left over. And if you guys recall, I told you that this yarn is made out of 6 strands of yarn twisted real tight together. Like twisted. And it's very rope-like. And I did not like the ropiness of it. Ooh, my fingers look wrinkly. That means I need to lotion up. So you see how it's a real tight rope? And then we worked up a swatch and I still was not a huge fan of it. But I made the hat because I wanted to use the yarn. Okay? I bought it, I might as well use it. This was $3.50. This one was. You see this? This is the leftovers from this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it ain't the same yarn. It is, but it's not. So it's still spun together. What I did, this was magic. I got out my spindle, okay, and I attached the yarn to it, and I spun it backwards. So I looked at which way the twist was going, and I spun it backwards. And then I wrapped it around. And then when I got done with that, I had, because like I said, this is 6 strands. This is 6 strands held together. And it's only 98 yards for $3.50. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do that again. Because that little tiny ball that was not big enough to make anything because it was so thick and rope-like, I actually, and you can see where the 2 different colors are, I split the ball in half randomly. And I realized a couple of things about this yarn that you might not know because of the way it is constructed. It's 3 strands of variegated yarn strung together real tight. So it looks like it's a solid color kinda with like a wrapper. Like it looks like it's something along the lines of this. Is not. The yarn underneath is actually variegated, so it's self-striping, but there's 3 strands, there's 6 strands. So because I split it in half, now we have 3 strands. Come on, come on. It's, hang on. 3 strands of self-striping yarn, still twisted kind of tight together, even though I untwisted it. But these are self-striping pieces. So what you get is this. And if you look in the middle, I gotta turn my light back down again. It's got more green. And then it fades to more blue and pink. And then up here is like yellow. Actually, it's not yellow, it's green, but it's looking yellow on camera. So this is the second half of the ball. This is the first half of the ball. This is the second half of the ball. And I had this much left over. So I actually should have got another one of these colorways because this is gorgeous. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to untwist it. And what I'm going to have, if you don't have one of these, don't even try. Because I tried doing it without a spindle. And it kept kinking back on itself because it was so twisted up. And if you're a spinner, you know what happened already. It twists, but then when you let go of it a little bit, it curls. And then you had a whole bunch of curly cues like that. It was a hot mess. So I'm like, crap. Because I was just testing with that little small piece. And then I got the idea. I'm like, I could go get my spinning wheel and do it. But I didn't want it to kink up into my spinning wheel at all. And I didn't want to mess anything up. So I went and got my hand spindle. And it worked like a charm. And I didn't get my fancy spindle because I just imagined it flying across the room because that yarn was so crazy. But it worked. That's why I bought this. I'm going to unspin it and I'm going to make my own yarn. And we're going to go from here. So that's why I bought this one skein. Now I probably should have bought this colorway because this colorway is gorgeous. But this was screaming to me in the stores. Now that I explained all of that, we're going to take this hot hat off. But do you see how it's, if you look at this yarn, it is very much a self-striping, color shifting yarn. But because there's so many, there's 6 strands of that kind of yarn in there, I don't think 2 balls are going to be alike, number one. And I think it's going to look very, the color gets lost a lot because it's 6 strands instead of the 3. I think this is far superior, more beautiful, much more flexible and beautiful. And I actually am thinking about taking this apart and doing that whole ball. Because I don't like the hat and I don't think I'm going to use the hat. So I'm thinking about taking that apart and also untwisting that yarn. Now, got that all covered. That was my intention. That's my plan. All right. Next, I bought more jelly bean yarn. And I didn't realize I already bought this color. See, this is the problem. I forgot what I bought. But this was so pretty. The aquas and the blues were standing out to me a lot. And apparently I already have 2 of these. So now I have 5 of these. But they're $2.99 a piece. And I ain't mad at that at all. So this is just some more of the jelly bean and the color Superman ice cream. And had I turned it over and looked at the color, I would have realized I already had this at home. But again, I'm not mad at it because I bought 3 of the pink to go with it. So now we have even more. And the pink is, this did not look as pretty as it does in person online. This is stunning in person. So this is the color Bubblegum Babe. And again, I bought 3 of those because the color is fantastic. Let's see if my camera will actually give it a minute. Nope, it's not going to show you the true color. It's so washed out and muted today. Everything is so washed out on my camera. It's also dark out. It's dark in here. So this is a very beautiful, almost hot pink. That's accurate. I wish I could show it to you closer, but it's just not. It's like almost a fluorescent pink. These are so pretty together. And they have the neon, which is also not really showing up. It has the neon around it. Just like the blue does. Isn't that pretty? There we go. I just had to put the blue up. That's accurate. Do you see how pink that is? I had to put that blue up there. It's like, I don't know what to do. So, I bought those. And then, this is another yarn I saw online and I was not even remotely interested in it. And I only bought the pink because the blue was so pretty. Apparently I was in a pink and blue mood today. This is the new Totally Tweed yarn. This one is the color Rose All Day. And it is a pink. This base reminds me of... What was the one yarn Joann's had last year? I want to say it was Candy Shop. But it has like these wonderful pom-poms on it, which reminds me of the Flowers yarn from Premier Yarns. And I'm not mad at rainbow pom-poms. And this is just Easter all day long. I'm thinking this would be so cute as a shawl or a shrug or a little sweater or something, right? For Easter? For your granddaughter? For your niece? For your little girl? It's just cute. And the pink is a little off on camera, so I'm going to bring the blue up and see if it helps. Yep, that helped. So I bought the blue, and the blue is the color Cyan Chroma. And I bought the pink because I like the blue, and I just didn't want to leave the pink there. But are these not so stinking cute? And these are soft too. These are actually softer than the Jelly Bean yarn. Definitely. I mean, that would be so cute together too. Wait a minute, this one. Yeah. So I had fun. I'm not going to work up any swatches today. This one says it is a 4-weight. And you already know because I already showed you the rest of these yarns. The Lollipop Twist says it's a 4-weight, but really it's closer to a 5-weight. And it is rope-like. And if you don't know what that's like, I did a whole review on it already. This one also, I have noticed their labels for this batch of yarn specifically is crap. I'm not the only one that noticed it. There's been other podcasters mentioning it. I think her name was Crafting Kitty. I watched her video and she was also saying some of the same stuff about the yarn. Because like I said, this says it's 2 balls to make a hat. I made a whole hat with 1 ball and I had some left over. You can make a crocheted hat with one of these balls. But then it says to make a pillow is 3 balls of this and a blanket is 4 balls of this. So the label says 2 balls for a hat and 4 balls for a blanket. You just do that calculation in your head, because in no planet on Earth is less than 400 yards going to make a blanket. That's not going to happen. Even if it's a baby blanket. Like, this wouldn't even make a doll blanket, I don't think, 4 skeins of this. Now this one says 1 for a hat, 2 for a scarf, 2 for a pillow, 4 for a blanket. This one has 300 yards. So 1,200, that's a little more reasonable for a blanket. And it almost seems like a lot of the information on the Joann's labels is just cut and paste. Like they didn't even really think about it. These are all listed as 4 weights. And they're not. And then the yarn I showed you in yesterday's video were also labeled as, they were like 3 weights, but they were way thinner than a 3-weight in my opinion. So take the labels with a grain of salt. Use the knowledge that you have, or trust my opinion on these things. Don't use a blanket for this stuff. And unless you're gonna, I mean, it makes an okay hat. This would make a really good basket. It would make a good rug. And several of you said that in the comments. But the amount you would have to buy at $3.50 to make a basket or a rug, I just don't see the Lollipop Twist going anywhere, doing anything. Now I'm speaking as if Joann's is not going out of business, because I don't know, but I'm not feeling real good about that. I mean, I would love for Joann's to turn it around. But, you know, we're not going to discuss that right now. We're going to pretend everything in the world is okay. And we're going to go from there. But the labels on these are kind of crazy. Oh, this has the Okotex standard on it. Oh, these all do. That, again, that could be cut and paste. So, I'm going to read the label to the twist, the Totally Tweed. It says it's a 4-weight. It is, the yarn base itself feels like it's probably a DK. The reason they're going to call it a 4-weight is because of the Tweety puffs. Now, because I do have experience with this kind of yarn with the puffs on it, I have been having phone calls all day from people I don't know. Okay, so because the puffs are fatter than the yarn themselves, you need to use a hook or knitting needles that are big enough to let those puffs come through your stitches. Okay, because either way, whether you're crocheting or knitting, you have to pull it through. So you need to use equipment that's big enough that those puffs are going to pull through. So because of that, I'm going to say that a 4 would probably be reasonable. Also, I noticed when you knit with this, the puffs always end up on the purl side, and I don't know why that is. So I probably would not ever knit with this because all the puffs are going to end up on the purl side, and I don't like that. And it's always like that. So I have used this with knitting. I don't like it with knitting. This is very much a crochet thing because you can pull the puff when you're doing the stitches with your hook. You can actually, you see a puff coming, you can pull it through the stitch so that you can make sure it's on the correct side of the fabric. It takes a little finessing and it's not for everyone, but that color, the fact that it's so incredibly blue, and these are two different shades. These two were just sitting on the shelves like, please, I have to come in. And I don't even like blue that much. Don't get me wrong. I think blue is beautiful. I don't use it. I have a hatred for blue because of my sister. My older sister, when we were younger, demanded that blue was her color. And she was very crazy about it. And I didn't want to be anything like her. So I was like, I hate blue because, like, you can have blue. So I have, like, this weird mental block against blue. But these are so pretty. And I saw these on Joann's app. I had zero intention of buying it because I've worked with the flower yarns before. I've worked with Tweety yarns before. And to me, it was just meh, especially this color by itself. Now, had I just seen this one on the shelf, I'd have left it there. But the blue made me buy the pink. So it's the blue's fault that I bought the pink. But how cute would this be? And honestly, I would put these in a project together, which is maybe why I bought 3 of the blue and 3 of the pink. Some of these, I think this one specifically, I cleared off the shelf. I took the only 3 they had of that colorway. This one, took the only one of that colorway. So if you go to my local Joann's, I'm sorry that I took all those yarns. You can always order them online. And if you wait and you don't check out, Joann sends you a 25% off coupon and a $2.99 coupon for shipping. So shipping's only $2.99 and you get an extra 25% off. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I believe in the intro that I recorded in the car hours and hours ago, because we done been home a long time. They didn't let me use like was it 5 off of 50 or whatever? They wouldn't let me use that. And she goes, I think it's because they're all doorbusters. But they've let me use that in the past, but they're getting kind of weird with the coupons. So they let me use my $5 reward. So I got $5 off. So technically I got, I don't know, 2 of these free. So that's cool. But yeah. And you also, I'm going to add pictures somewhere in this video. You probably will have already saw them. But if you see pictures of a whole bunch of yarn in a room, I added that into the video and I'm explaining why. I meant to edit them into the video that I didn't edit them into. And I meant to do a voiceover, but I already did that part of the video. So after this, I'm going to show you 3 photos of the inside of my Joann's store. This is absolutely insane to me. So I'm going to tell you the visual, then you're going to see the pictures when I end the video. They had, the last time I showed you the inside of my Joann's store, there were boxes lining that whole back aisle of the store. Those boxes are still there for the most part, but they're trying to unbox a lot of it and get it out. So a lot of the new yarns are on the floor. And I think they're really cracking down. You need to get the yarns out before you get anything else out because the yarn is selling, the fabric is not. So I think Joann's should have flipped it a long time ago and put the yarn in the big part of the store and put the fabric in the small part of the store. Because crochet is huge right now. It is like everybody wants crochet. rich people want crochet, celebrities want crochet. Like, there are actual designers that are making crochet pieces and they're walking the runway. Trap designer is the first one I think of, okay? So Joanne should have a long time ago did what they're doing right now, and it feels like it's too late, but there are so many boxes in the back rooms that are open and we can see into the back rooms of yarn spilling onto the floors from empty boxes. And it is absolutely insane to me how much yarn is in Joann's right now. And the new stuff is coming out. It's on the shelves. I'm getting my orders filled in the store. Like, the yarn is there. But a lot of it, there's just not enough people working at their store to get it into the shelves. And they're trying to fill orders, so they're opening boxes and setting them back there. The yarn is spilling out, and it is so sad to see it, but at the same time, like, all I wanted to do was run in that back room and just make yarn angels and like take a nap in the big pile of yarn, because it is a yarn lover's dream to see that much yarn in one place like that. And yeah, so that was this story. I don't plan on going back to Joann's anytime soon unless they release some more yarn that I just cannot resist. But that was my Joann's haul. That was my big Joann's. I like all week it's just been Joann's. Now tomorrow I actually have another yarn that video is going to come out late, and if you know, you know, because there's a new yarn coming out tomorrow at about noon. So we're gonna unbox that. Hint, hint. It's right here. It's right there. I've been holding on to that for a while now. I'm actually excited about that one too. So we're gonna open that. Tomorrow's gonna be even more yarn porn. It's a week of yarn porn, and I'm here for it, guys. I do have ideas for some of these yarns. Like this, I want to turn into a blanket. The blues, I want to turn into a blanket. I want to unspin that and turn it into something. These are just going to be hoarded because that jelly bean yarn is so pretty. And it's not the softest. It's not the softest. It's nowhere near soft as the other yarns they got released out. But the colors are what draws me in. You give me fluorescent and neon and I cannot. You know what? Where's my black light? I think it's in the other room. I was going to see if these fluoresce. I will let you know. I will come in here and shine all these yarns and let you know if they fluoresce or not. Because I have a feeling those are going to fluoresce under black light. I just have a feeling. And with that, I'm going to let you go. And I need to remind myself to put the pictures right after this of the inside of the store. Hopefully I do that. I will see you tomorrow for a brand new yarn being released from Premier Yarns. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.